I want to now take the time to elaborate and go into what's been going on for me, if this resonates with you. So what happened particularly in the last 3 months is I was really unwell. I got really, really unwell. And my health just totally deteriorated, and I went through complete adrenal fatigue. I was really stressed out. It affected my adrenals and thyroid, and to such an extent, my adrenal fatigue affected the inflammation that was in my body. So my body was really inflamed all the time. It affected me so much that I stopped working out. I stopped even doing yoga, couldn't do a whole yoga class because my body was always in pain. That was to do with my stress, which affected the inflammation. My body was just always inflamed and in pain. And I thought, oh shit, must be age. I didn't know what it was. And I didn't, I was trying to push through it, but pushing through it and pushing myself to keep doing things and keep functioning was even making it worse. So, it was really bad. It also affected my stomach, because your stomach is very much the second brain. And what happens with your stomach, that's where we are really affected by stress. So stress in your life really, really affects your stomach and the way your body tolerates food, the way your body reacts. So every time my reaction to a lot of food was I was getting so sensitive. I was getting upset stomachs, was rushing to the toilet, was in a lot of pain, extremes of constipation or diarrhea, up and down, the whole sort of IBS syndrome thing was happening. And that was all relating to this adrenal fatigue. So that was happening, and I just wasn't. It was got to such an extent with me that I couldn't even tolerate any stress whatsoever. Was becoming anxious, couldn't go out, all of this kind of stuff. So it was pretty bad, wasn't it? It certainly was not nice. So yes, I have come through it. The energies of the universe certainly did not help this, because the energies of the planet and the universe has all been about purging and coming through and turning things upside down. The whole solar eclipses were all about pushing you and turning shit upside down and turning stuff around. And so that's exactly what happened with me. So I just totally withdrew, went into myself, still did my meditations, but really the energy was so dense and heavy, and what was going on with my body was so dense and heavy that I was thinking, fuck, what the fuck is going on? This is just too much. This is just horrible. I just found it so difficult to be happy, and I found it so difficult to function coming through that time. I started to try and eliminate the stress from my life. Part of the stress was a relationship. And you might think to yourself, why would she allow, being a life coach, why would she allow these kind of negative energies in her life? And I can honestly say the energies were both from this person, from this relationship that I had for going on and off now 2 years, have been positive and negative. And that's like any relationship. There's always positive and negative. Like, it was so positive with the experiences I was able to have with this person. The abundance of wealth with this person was amazing. I got to experience and share, as you know, basically the travel and the places we went to and all that. But his energy for me as a coach that I should know better, and particularly an empath, I picked up on his dense energies so intensely that I couldn't control myself anymore. I couldn't keep the vibrations high. In the beginning, my vibrations have always been, I think, very high and positive. Always try to stay in a positive. He loved my energy because my energy was always positive and high. But what it took away from me being with this person was he always sucked and drained my energy from me. Always. You know, and I mean, this person didn't even live here. Like, we didn't spend a lot of time. We seen each other like twice a month. He lived in another country, so he'd fly in, we'd spend time together, we'd go traveling together sometimes. So we only spent short bursts of time together. But I did dedicate myself to this person, and we did communicate when not in the same country by emails and phone calls and texts and all that. So the energy was always really draining around him, was always like insecure and heavy and dark energy. That over time, particularly for me, because I'm an empath, drained my energy so much, because the whole time I was wanting this person to be happy, and you know, I was trying to lift them up and push up, you know, push their vibration up and make them feel happy and excited, which really was not my role, was so not my role to do that. So once I really realized this, and it's taken me a long time to realize it, my health, what was happening was my health was going down because of it, because I was, you know, trying to control both my energy and his energy. To lift him up all the time was draining my energy. So what it did eventually for me was zap me of my own energy, drain me, take away from me, and I had to stop doing that. I just couldn't do it anymore. It drained me. It made me unwell. It just basically, what happened, it all manifested in my body, all that negative energy. And honestly, as disease, it manifested in my body as disease. And honestly, was not a bad person. He just was an insecure person and a draining energy. He didn't do, you know, negative things, so to speak, but sometimes his actions were really insecure, you know, and, you know, needy, and that is just not a good energy for one. You know, I really think that relationship energies should be on the same level, should be on the same par, should be, you know, two secure people coming together, two healthy energies coming and meeting each other halfway, and both being accountable for their own energy, to pick themselves up, to make themselves feel better, so that they can share that with another person. And then you can, of course, always bounce off one another, but you should never drain another's energy. I don't think it intentionally or unintentionally drain another's energy, because that person just won't stay around. They just won't stay in your life, you know? It's just not healthy. It manifests in disease. So yeah, that's what happened to me. And I'm going to leave it at there at the moment for this portion of the video.